On this episode of Lapeef, Let's Talk.
It's about if you consider yourself a Black person and you are a Black person, you look like a Black person, and you procreate with Black people, you are advancing the Black community. It's not about the percentage of Black you are.
So it's based off. Wait. So it's based off of how you feel.
But you have to actually be Black of some sort, of course. You can't be white and say that you're Black.
Wait. What do you mean of some sort? What does that mean?
What do you mean?
Of some sort. What does that mean?
Everybody is Black. Let's start there, because all of the human race comes from a Black woman. So let's start there. So like your whole analogy about what if you're 1%? We're all 1%, everybody. Okay. But when we actually talking about your actual DNA and how you were raised and who you were raised with, that is what the determining factor is if you are a Black person. Like if a person can't say I'm a Black person, they're not a Black person. Like this is not a hard thing.
It's just so funny to me because basically what some people on the panel described was a monolith, right? And basically they said all people, no matter what your experience, no matter what your background, no matter how you grow up, no matter where you came from, no matter how you interact with people, no matter where you was born, everybody looks at everybody the exact same way. And that is so crazy to me. That is silly. It is. And then for somebody to say that somebody can't be pro-Black based off of how they marry, or they don't even take into consideration what somebody else may do for a group of people, and that don't factor into it. It's all just based off of how you look. Just throw it all in the trash. Nobody gave any real clarification. Nobody gave any real situations, and they picking and choosing according to how they feel. And I just don't understand how people just advocate for something that they don't even have a clear definition or understanding of what they advocating for. That makes no sense whatsoever.
Are you finished?
Go ahead.
Okay. So I don't know if maybe you took a nap when I said that it's for the advancement economically, educationally for our culture. So it's a whole lot of things that becomes pro-Black instead of just looking at your skin tone. So it is for the advancement, meaning the betterment, trying to do better for our whole community. So I did specifically say that. I wasn't just going on your skin tone or if you light skin, where logic tried to bring it in for some odd reason. I didn't say or really talk about being biracial. I did say producing Black, which again is a part of being pro-Black. I don't understand how that's.
Then I asked you what was the percentage of Black that you have to have in you in order to consider yourself Black, and you couldn't answer that.
Well, I was letting Kayla talk.
Okay, I'm asking you now.
Then I said, okay,
let's not go past it. What percentage of Black do you need to have in you in order to be pro-Black?
Right. So I heard your question and I'm answering. So I don't think there is a percentage. When it comes to biracial women or men, they can't help. They can't help. Q can't help being biracial. But if she's pro-Black, if she feels her as a Black woman and feels strongly in that, and especially if she raised with Black folks, it's a difference when you're biracial and you're raised with Black parents or a Black mother and don't have another side, or you're raised with white folks. It's a difference. Culturally, it is a difference.
So you telling me that if I have 1%, you said there is no percentage.
I didn't.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. You're right.
Okay. So it depends also on how you were raised as well, if you're biracial. But again, if Island Q is saying that she's pro-Black, and she wants to be pro-Black, marry a Black man and produce Black children, that in essence, the pigment, your color is going to be dominant. Let's not be silly. Black is dominant. So she's going to have a Black child. If she marries white and has a white child, it's going to be more recessive. That Blackness that she has in here is going to reside in that. So it's going to be in essence more light, looking lighter, less Black.
Barely.
And for me being pro-Black, it was important also for me to date Black. My child is Black because I want my child to look like me, a Black woman. This nigga nose, nigga lips, I want it all.
You getting away from, and this is why it's difficult to have these conversations, is because y'all get away from the conversation that we having. I asked you a specific question and then you went on a rant. Coming back to the specific question. So you said there's no specific percentage. So I can have 1% Black. 1% Black in me, and then I qualify, right?
Okay, so let's repeat. I said there was not a percentage, but being biracial.
Mhm.
I also stated that it also depends on how you was raised and who's in your household. If you're raised around Black folks or if you're raised around white folks, that
But you
also
messed
makes.
up, Courtney. You
I
messed
did.
up because earlier you said it was based purely off of what you look like. Now
I
you're
did not
adding,
say that
wait,
one
now
time.
you're adding other
One at a
factors
time, y'all.
into
One
it,
at a time.
how you raised and all of your culture and all of this other type of stuff. And this is what I'm saying. It's all one big contradiction, and we pick and choose in order to try to make our point. You was
So
agreeing with Kayla earlier that no. The first thing you
because
said,
he's lying.
first thing you said is based off of what you see, because when I walk outside, it's what I look like and what other people see. Now you're adding in more context as far as trying to qualify your statement, and you didn't even qualify the idea behind percentage, because I thought it was based off of you what you see and not what percentage of Black you have in you.
But it's not.
So you're hold on, Caleb, because you're conflating the context and when I said it. So even when Mr. Logic was trying to say that you look other, and I said when I walk out the house, you see a Black woman, and you do. So let's just take Sean King. Sean King, pro-Black, married Black,
Who's that? I don't know
an
who he is.
activist. He's an activist.
Oh, okay.
Come to find out, he's
Hold
white.
on, Sean King is a Morehouse graduate.
Sean King is white?
He's a Morehouse graduate. That's what
White.
he is.
So
He's
does
white.
that make him pro-Black because he's all white?
No,
And he's
that's
a Black
problem.
activist? Not
No.
Black activist.
So that's an issue in talking about him. He was a high yellow. We thought he was light skinned,
because he
but he
lighter than me.
married Black for the advancement of Black people. And so when it comes down, he's white. Now we're looking at him like, oh, so now you're trying to use Blackness to I don't know, advance who he's trying to do. Another Rachel Dolezal. She's not pro-Black because she's white.
So it's not based
Hold
on.
on, hold on, Logic. Hold on, Logic. Give me a
But
second.
he's for the
She's a white
culture.
woman.
Hold on, wait. This is beautiful. So does everybody that considers themselves pro-Black on this panel agree with that?
So
No,
I don't think it's about percentages or anything. It's about, do you consider yourself Black? Are you Black? We can't get into the line of like how Black you are. When you walk outside and people see you, do they see a Black person? Do you consider yourself Black? Were you raised and you perpetuate the Black culture? That's what it's about. It's not about percentage of Blackness. It's about, if you consider yourself a Black person and you are a Black person, you look like a Black person, and you procreate with Black people, you are advancing the Black community. It's not about the percentage of Black you are.
So it's based
on
off, wait. So it's based off of how you feel.
But you have to actually be Black of some sort, of course. You can't be white
some sort.
and say that you're Black. You can't
What,
do everything.
wait.
She's not pro-Black.
What do
She's
you
white.
mean of some sort? What does that mean?
What do you mean?
Of some sort. What does that mean?
Everybody is Black. Let's start there, because all of the human race comes from a Black woman. So let's start there. So like your whole analogy about what if you're 1%? We're all 1%, everybody. Okay. But when we actually talking about your actual DNA and how you were raised and who you were raised with, that is what the determining factor is if you are a Black person. Like if a person can't say I'm a Black person, they're not a Black person. Like this is not a hard thing.